Hi, so this video is going to be for your faux French seam. It's an alternative to your regular French seam, right? Because it's got a little bit of a different finishing on it, but at the end of it still looks clean finished on the inside, except there's another little extra row of stitching that you'll see at the end of the video. And also different from the regular French seam, you're going to be sewing with right sides together. Okay, so what you're going to do is put your right sides together and sew at your regular seam allowance. Mine is 1/2 of an inch. If you need to make it a little bigger and then trim it down, you can do that as well. So I'm going to put under my foot using a regular plain seam. I'm going to do the 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay, and just like anytime you have a plain seam or any other seam, you're going to want to press your seams open. And as you see in most of my videos, I'm just using this little rolling tool to make it easier as far as the video goes and going to the ironing board all the time. But just roll your seam open, or press your seam open rather. As we always do, we press seams flat. And then when you're done pressing it flat, you decide which side you want to press it to the side. Actually press seams open and then press them flat. So I'm going to just push it to the side. It's not going to be stitched down to the front, so it actually in the French seam doesn't matter which way you press it flat. It does if you're going to be top stitching it to the garment. Okay. So now I have sewn at my 1/2 inch. I've pressed seams open, pressed it flat, and now I'm going to have to fold it under 1/8 of an inch on each side. Now my hand's probably going to get in the way doing this, but just, you can pre-press this even for your samples. For the garment, sometimes it's not, practical. But I'm going to just use my finger and press under 1/8 of an inch on each side. It might be a little difficult for you to see as I'm folding it. I'll do my best. And you have to do both sides before you can put them together. Muslin makes it easy enough for me to just do it with my fingers. If you were doing like silk, charmeuse, or I don't know, any other silky fabric, you're going to have to take this to the iron more than likely, and then maybe even baste it. Now again, my hand might get in the way, but I'll do my best to show you after I get these folded. So now I'm going to basically kiss those two folded seams together. Hopefully you can see what I'm going to do here. And then I'm going to end up having to put some pins. And again, if this was a hard to manage fabric, you'll put pins and then you'll hand baste it together so it doesn't slip away on the sewing machine on you. Just folding, hold on, sorry. It's a very tedious part and it's hard for me to hold it up in front of the camera. So I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. So there, hopefully you can see that. See the two folded edges, they're kissing. I'm going to do the whole edge here, get it ready to put under the machine, and then you'll be able to see it better. You can fast forward through this if you're Just staring at the machine, I'm sorry. Okay. Getting it ready. So you're going to need a lot of pins for this. So now you can see that it's with the 1/8 folded under each side. I'm back down to having about 1/4 of an inch for my French seam. And then I'm going to put it under the foot and just try to get it as close to the edge by putting it between the toes of my foot and just rolling it along the edge there. And if you have a top stitching foot, you can do that, especially if it's an industrial machine. Don't sew over your pins. Okay. There you have it. So you see it's still clean finished on the inside of your garment, but there is that extra stitch on the edge and maybe a tiny more bulk because of the 2 fold unders. So you have to consider all of those things when you're doing your faux French. And so this is the inside of the garment.